I'm asking you, this particular section of the Act, will it apply, yes or no?
The legal answer is that we follow the IRPA.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Hey folks, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. Things in these committee investigation videos are crazy. Today we've got Minister of Immigration Marc Miller, who's an absolute mess. He did inherit a mess from the former minister, Sean Fraser. Anyhow, it's not getting any better. Immigration is a crisis in Canada right now. It's not the immigrants' fault, it's the policy problems, but man oh man. Let's take a look. Marc Miller doesn't have any answers that make any sense. Let's take a look and a listen. These committee videos are wild, guys, and Marc Miller is a clown. Let's take a look.
Go ahead, please.
Mr. Chair, how much time do I have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So I wanted to ask you, Minister, in exchange with one of the Liberal MPs, the question was asked about the paying of smugglers and bribes by certain people to get across the border. And you said in your response, I won't condone it, but I understand. Are you aware that under the IRPA Section 36(2)(c), that committing an offense that would be an offense in Canada makes a person ineligible then to obtain a visa, and it's an offense in Canada to pay human traffickers under Criminal Code Section 279. Would those people then be denied a visa to come to Canada?
Honourable Minister.
That isn't the case, no. We would perhaps ask additional questions, but again, you're asking us to hold in judgment people that are trying to stay alive and safe.
So are you saying that Section 36(2)(c) will not apply to anyone who is paying a human smuggling network, a criminal network, to come to Canada, whether from Sudan, Gaza, or anywhere else?
Honourable Minister.
You're making a lot of presumptions about the paying of these amounts and who they went to. In various shapes or form, this organization has been described as executive travel services, or in the context of this, quite usurious extortion of people looking to leave a desperate situation. So I think that would depend on the circumstances at hand. But again, would you deny them that right simply because they tried to save their lives by paying some money?
So, Minister, you're speaking of a specific organization. Are you speaking of Hala Tourism and Consulting?
Yes.
I'm speaking more broadly, beyond just this particular organization, because I don't know exactly who they are. They were mentioned in a Toronto Star article that has the title, King of the Crossing, the man selling away out of Gaza. I'm talking more broadly of all criminal networks. Are you saying that Section 36(2)(c) of the IRPA is in abeyance, like the department will not apply? You're the minister. Are you saying you will not apply this particular section?
Honourable Minister.
I'm not saying that at all. What I said is that I took a particular set of facts that you presented to me, refuted to them, and then you started to generalize about something that has nothing to do necessarily with the case at hand. So I'm just asking you the question.
Well, Minister, you're issuing visas, so that is literally your job. You have a department to help you with that. The IRPA, passed by Parliament, tells you that you cannot issue a visa to someone who has committed a criminal act outside of Canada, just committing the act, not being convicted of the act. You're saying you're not going to apply the law. I'm asking you a legal question. You are the minister responsible for the file. You've shown before in other questioning that you either don't know your file or you're not caught up on your file. So I'm asking you, this particular section of the act, will it apply, yes or no?
Honourable Minister, time is up and you can respond briefly.
If you happen to think that Marc Miller is a good Minister of Immigration, watch the next piece. This is the unfolding. Check this out. This is for you, Mr. Pickles. Check it out. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As we're discussing the temporary resident visa special program for the Gaza and Sudan situation, my first line of questioning will be around the temporary residence program in general. Minister, are all temporary residents, including international students that are entering Canada, required to submit police clearance certificates and criminal background checks from the country of origin before they're allowed to enter Canada?
So just to be clear, we are talking about Gaza and Sudan.
Of course. And that's my line of questioning.
Hang on. And you want, just to be clear, you want to talk about now international students?
The honourable members and the minister. please, one person at a time. And Honorable MP Khanna, if you want to interrupt Minister, if he's still speaking, please raise your hand. I will stop the watch. I would not take out of your time. So now I will give the floor to Mr. Khanna.
Minister, of course it's relevant. So it's a simple question, yes or no answer. Are all temporary residents that come to our country, including international students, required to submit a police clearance certificate and criminal background checks before they enter Canada? It's a very, very simple yes or no question. It's black and white. Yes or no?
So first, let's make a couple things clear. I don't tell you what questions to ask. Don't tell
It's a
me.
yes or no question,
Don't tell
Minister.
me what kind of. Don't tell me how to answer those questions.
Let's hear your answer for the question.
Thank you. First of all, we do criminal verification by doing biometrics on people. That means taking their fingerprints. We search databases, partner databases, including security partner databases, and as well as the RCMP. And we have a number of cascading questions for anyone that wants to come in to Canada to assess whether they go to secondary screening. Now, on the issue of police certificates, we do not, as a routine matter, require those for temporary residents. The next question you should probably pose is how reliable are those police certificates? I don't think you would. I think you would agree with me.
I have limited time, Mr. Chair.
Please go ahead. I've started the watch.
Sorry, I understand how the program works, and my question is to you. You made a statement a few weeks ago to the media when the media clearly asked you, are criminal background checks done? And you said yes. And when the media asked, how does that work? You said if they have a criminal background check, if they have a criminal background, that they're not allowed to the country. So now you're telling me that police clearance certificates and background checks at the country of origin are not completed. Is that true?
I think your premise is that police certificates are the starting point and the be-all and end-all of a comprehensive security check, which they are not. I think you would agree with me that a Hamas-issued security certificate or police certificate would not be acceptable for someone exiting Gaza. Do you agree with me?
You'll have your chance, Minister, to ask those questions when you're on the other side of the bench. But my question is more simple for you: is that you misled the media and you misled Canadians when they were asking you a point-blank question. So the question is very simple: did you purposely mislead Canadians, or were you not competent enough to say that during the time the media asked you that? So which one is it? Are you misleading Canadians, or were you incompetent and you didn't know your process for your old file?
So you're new to this place, MP Khanna. You are making a lot of assumptions. I think perhaps you have fallen victim to the algorithms of your chief. The reality is, Minister, I did not mislead
Point
anyone.
of order on this, Minister? Mr. Chair?
Stop the watch, and there's a point of order.
I've been elected to this House for about a year now, and regardless if I've been here for a year, 10 years, or 15 years, the minister should not be questioning my competence on the file. Clearly, he didn't have the answer when the media asked him these questions. He clearly misled Canadians, and now he's throwing accusations back at me, saying I'm not informed. I think you should go back and read his ministerial department notes, and maybe even listen to the predecessor who said that they were not done earlier. So before you start throwing accusations, please read your own documents.
I would ask Honourable Minister, irrespective of how long we are in this House, we should not refer that, and we should respect, and I agree with Mr. Khanna. I think those comments are not appropriate, and I would give the floor to you, Mr. Khanna. Go ahead for the question.
See, Minister, on the website, it clearly states that police clearance certificates are not mandatory. Your predecessor, Sean Fraser, the Minister of Immigration, now Housing Minister, who caused this housing crisis because of his reckless policies at the time when he was minister, himself has said that police clearance certificates and criminal background checks at the country of origin are not mandatory. So why did you tell the media that question when they asked you point blank?
Mr. Khanna, so Madam Kaibaga, please go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that we have a visiting member today. All of us want to get through the Sudan and Gaza questions. Can we stay on relevance, please, Mr. Chair?
Thank you. I will go to Mr. Khanna. Mr. Khanna,
absolutely. I think it's irrelevant because it's with the integrity of our system. So it's a very general question I'm asking for this program. Can the minister let me know how many Canadians have been let into Canada that have submitted police clearance certificates and criminal background checks before
Point
entering
of order,
Canada.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Minister.
Point of order.
Just a minute. I will go to Madam Kaibaga, please.
Thank you.
Does the Minister have the answer to this?
Just clarifying with the clerk, can you just reread for the rest of all of us to know what the subject of the conversation today is so that we can stay on that? We want to get to our questions as well.
That's fine, Madam Kaibaga. I will go to Minister. Minister, please respond to the question put by Mr. Khanna.
Well, when you become a resident, you obviously have to provide those types of checks. But for temporary residents, I never said, and this is where you are misleading people, Mr. Khanna, and your colleagues, that police certificates were required. I said we did verification. That's what we do. That is true. If you assume the contrary, you assume all the responsibility and liability with respect to that if you make those statements outside of here.
So, Minister, you're confirming that police clearance certificates and criminal background checks are not done for temporary residents entering this Canada?
I have never said that certificates are required for temporary residents. They may be required if an officer decides to do so as part of a cascading security screening. None of your colleagues should pretend that I ever made that claim. And if they do so outside this place, there are consequences.
So how many of those that have been let into Canada, temporary residents, have had to submit police clearance certificates? How many?
Please respond briefly.
You would have to ask over what time period. You would have to ask which categories and which officers have asked for further police certificates. You are assuming that police certificates are the be-all and end-all, and in particular in the case of the individuals in question in the context of police investigation. I'm not going to speak further, but you could imagine how unreliable those certificates would be were they have been required. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khanna.
The legal answer is that we follow the IRPA.
Thank you very much. I will now.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to wrap it up right there, guys. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Mark Miller is a goofball. Immigration is a problem in Canada, indeed, and a part of that problem is the Immigration Minister, Mark Miller. Again, my name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those fun things. Please leave a comment. Love the comments. Thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. There's always something happening in committee. Check out my videos. Catch you next time.